Maleficent is still a lizard.
That's true.
just left her in
Where
a
is
box
Maleficent?
with
Is
air
Maleficent
holes in
is Maleficent on the Isle of the Lost, or
I don't know.
like did Mal just
Did
leave her
we
there?
leave her there?
I guess.
Comment and request your favorite show! Junior and Marcus!
Descendants 2 is the best Disney sequel ever made.
Bro, he ain't lying, bro. He ain't lying.
I'm Junior.
And I'm Marcus.
Let's talk about it. The movie begins with a really cool song number where like all the characters are dancing. What's so funny is while all these characters are dancing, they have Mal in the front, Evie and Carlos to her side, and if you look way in the back, there's Jay again.
Jay's always in the back. Why is my
Again.
boy Jay getting shafted all the
Why
time?
is he always in the background? And then you see it's all an imagined spot. It's all in Mal's head, right?
While in like interviews and stuff.
Yeah, while all that's going on, she's fantasizing about like what could have been or what could be, and you know the good old days with.
Remember when I used to take candy from babies and like beat up old ladies and trip them while they were crossing the street?
Man, those were the days.
Miss those.
Those were the days. So yeah, then Mal is talking to Evie, and she's like, "Yo, Evie, girl to girl, I don't want to be part of the ceremony. Too much is going on." And Evie's like, "What do you mean? This life is great."
Yeah, I love
like
being there
I
in the bar
love
with the
this.
girl.
Yeah, it's so funny because it's like, yeah, Evie doesn't want to be evil again. She's perfectly happy with where she is.
Because Evie's got her goals. She got
Literally,
everything that she wants. Right?
Yep.
She got the money, you know, she on TV, everyone looking at her, she out here designing clothes, she happy. She got her nerdy boyfriend who does
Doug.
the books.
Yeah, so Carlos, his whole plot is that he wants to date a girl. It's the fairy godmother's daughter.
Yes.
That is all his plot is. That is the only place he goes. That is his character arc.
Yes.
He stops being shy to ask a girl to the dance.
He has a pet dog now.
So Jay, like all these girls are like, "Oh, hey, Jay," and like all the girls like him, and he's like, still the same guy, you know, having a good time.
Got a great line at the beginning of the movie when he's talking to
Carlos. Yeah, Carlos, like, if you want to ask someone out, what do I have to do, Jay?
And Jay's all like, well,
all you got to do is look like me.
like such a, I love him.
Evie goes to see Doug, and they're talking about everything that's happening, and Doug's calculating how much money all the stuff will cost. And it's right then and there that it's firmly established that Doug and Evie are in a relationship. But the relationship isn't as strong as Mal and Ben's because the two don't actually get to kiss on the lips. It's got to be on the cheek or Disney will fire us.
We get 2 kisses in this movie. That's it. We're a sequel.
Yeah, and then the second kiss gets stopped. It's like, yo, all right, slow down now. Slow your roll there. But anyway,
You know, you used your one already.
who's going to be the team captain? So then they're fighting, and it's like, oh, okay, so they're fighting, I guess, the new person who's trying to be like part of the team so that Jay can be team captain. Or Chad wants to be captain, though.
Yeah, Chad
wants to be team captain.
Chad.
Yeah, but he's Chad. So Jay loses, and then the masked fighter takes off their mask, and guess what? It's Lonnie from the first movie, who's Mulan's daughter. And now, funny thing about this, in the first movie, Lonnie was there, but Lonnie was more concerned about her looks.
Yeah, it was all about appearance for her. Like, didn't she get her hair changed?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, with magic. And it was to be like a contrast to her mother, Mulan, who she accepted who she was, but the world didn't. But here, it's like Lonnie's a different character completely. Which I'm totally fine with. I actually prefer this Lonnie.
I do too. It seems more true to the
Mulan daughter thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. What happens is Lonnie wants to join the team since they're down a man, and Jay's like, yeah, sure, no problem. But then Chad's like, no, the rules say that it needs to be a captain and is 8 men. Okay, 8 men. All right, men. You're a woman. I'm a man.
Last time I checked, Lonnie. When'd you check, Chad? Here's this truth pill, Carlos. You're gonna have this so you can, say whatever you want.
Yeah, admit your
mind
feelings.
all the time.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, okay, I'm down with that. And Mal's like, well, if I did that, I'd get sent back to the loss or whatever. Blah 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 blah. And she's like, okay, you sure? And he's about to give it to her, and then the dog jumps off the bed for some reason. Like, it's like the dog knew that for the plot.
Yeah, this is only for the sake of the plot.
He couldn't have the truth serum, so the dog jumps off the bed and then snatches out of their hands and then eats it.
Yep. And then he starts talking like English Why does truth pill equal English dialogue?
Rather than the dog speaking the truth by barking.
Yeah.
It can talk.
It can talk. It's because it's magic.
Yeah.
It's a magic pill. It'd be funny if Carlos took it and he started barking. You can tell the truth, yeah, but not in a language we understand. Really good job with the villains, but of course, we can't forget the other villain who's in this movie. Harriana Hook herself. Good old Harriana Hook. All right? You know, here's the clothing design and everything. We really appreciate it.
Is it a secret that she's in Descendants too?
People keep forgetting that she's right there. But what's his name? Harry Hook. His hook is just a hook he holds.
Yeah.
Now, is it his dad's hook, and that's why he has like sentimental value for it, or like why does he care about it so much?
That makes sense.
Kind of would. Like, I'd never let go of this hook.
You have a hand. Your dad had to hold this ability, dude. You're kind of mocking your father.
Their argument is so strong that basically a song starts playing. And Mal walks away, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is the next song. We're doing this again. And then the song just doesn't play. We just move to the next scene.
They do this quite a bit in the movie.
Oh, it happens a lot in this movie.
It's weird.
The Isle of the Lost, I guess, as Marcus told me, he's like, they probably just put back the seal over it. Because at the end of the last one, Maleficent was able to come back to, like, Arendelle or whatever easily.
Yeah.
Or Auradon. What is it called?
Auradon.
Yeah, Auradon.
It's called the USA. It's easier.
Cool. Yeah, Maleficent was able to do that easily because the fairy godmother's wand was used to open it.
Yes.
Right? So I guess they just closed it again and no villain tried. I guess, no other flying villain was there? How come Uma didn't try in the last movie?
Like to sail?
She could just swim.
Oh, that's true.
We know she can swim. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
It is a little weird. I liked almost all the songs in this movie.
Same.
There wasn't one that I was like, man, this sucks.
Man, this sucks. Unlike the first one where there's a whole song you just take out.
Yeah.
So they teach him a song and Ben's like trying to keep up and he's like so dorky. It's like, it's really good. But then at the end of the song, you know, he actually stole, he swiped stuff out. Yeah, he starts to get it. He says the N-word in the song. And then Ben sees Mal at the house. He goes upstairs. And then they talk, and Mal's like, I'm not going back. And Ben's like, please, and she's like, no. And he's like, please, and she's like, no. And he's like, please, and she's like, no. And then he leaves. We cut back to Evie and Mal, and they're talking about everything. And then Mal's like, don't you miss the Isle of the Lost a little bit? And Evie's like, yeah, I see how your face lights up when you're here. Maybe this is your place, Mal. You need to make the decision yourself. And then Mal's like, yeah, you're right, Evie. Maybe we just need to separate, right? Like, this is my home and that place is your home. And then they have a duet about it, and it's really great.
That's a good one.
But the greatest thing about this duet is while these girls are having this duet, we cut back to Carlos and Jay, and they're sleeping, waiting for that wand to be made. It's so funny.
Oh, the wand! Yo, man, the wand's done.
It's so funny.
No, it's our time to be in the movie, bro.
Exactly. It's the funniest thing of just like, yo, these two characters do nothing. I said to Marcus, I'm like, wouldn't it have been cool if Chad went with them too? If they were like, look, man, you can use our printer as many times as you want. You just have to help us save Ben. Because if anyone finds out about this, we're all screwed.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then have Chad go there and have Chad see Lonnie in action and learn for himself.
And then be all like, man, she definitely
is quality. Yeah, like, that would have been cool, right? It would have been a cool little character thing for Chad to do. And there'd be plenty of reason for him to go with them. Because he's not an idiot on the battlefield. We've seen him in action with the swords, so it makes sense. Ben and Uma are talking politics, and it's like actually a very smart conversation where Uma's like, hey, man, yeah, so what? You brought 4 kids to your nation and did nothing for the rest of us? And then Ben's like, I never even thought about that. Like, all the kids that I'm hurting by not choosing them. Uma, after the rap was done, Uma's like, all right, let me see that wand. Like, test that wand before I give you Ben. Test the wand. Yeah. So then she's like, oh no, what am I going to do? So then Mal turns to the dog and she says a spell.
Oh yeah, because the dog decided to show up onto the pier for whatever reason.
Yeah, she's like, you could always walkity and now you're going to talkity. And then the dog starts talking because the dog took the truth pill earlier in the movie. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess this dog kind of does matter. Makes me wonder if they didn't have the dog, what would they have done? But Marcus even said, it's like, oh, is the dog not going to talk here? Yeah. How funny would that be if the pill wore off?
The pill had worn off.
And then they just had to sprint like they grab Ben and it's like a mad dash to the end. That would have been cool too.
You can't bark, but you must talk. Like it!
Evie, Jay, Carlos, and Mal. They're all there, and then it's like, all right, thanks, Lonnie. You've been great. It's like, yeah, no problem. And then they leave, and then it's like, all right, guys, bye. Evie and I are going to talk. And Carlos is like, what? No, we're going to talk.
We are going to talk as a group.
You always push us away, girls. How come me and Jay are always in the background?
I hate this. Don't you hate this, Jay? Hey, you know what? I'm not too...
Jay's like, I'm not
really bothered by this.
I don't even like these girls. And they're like, well, Mal, if Ben really loves you, he'll accept you for who you are. And then they all walk away, and then Jay goes back, and he's like, look, Mal, don't ruin this for me. No, that's not what he said.
I remember that. Look, Mal, I got life made over here, all right? I can't have you just going back to the Isle of Lost. You're about to be a princess, right? If that goes down the tube, I lose all my social status over here, all right? So don't mess this up.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, and of course, Anchor.fm. Bye.
Don't forget to call